Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Mizzle. You are on my channel Mizzle14, and I'm here doing a review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all. Season 2, Episode 6. Alright, I don't think I'm going to go for scene for scene. Like I said, it was just basically, it was good, but I don't think I should go scene for scene. What I'm going to do is loop up the scenarios together and talk about that from there. Alright, so I'm going to save the cheated things for last between Melody, Martell, Marsau, Letitia. I say that for last. But I do want to say that this episode they brought a new couple in, Neville and Andrea. Cause remember they said it's gonna be three couples that are gonna be introduced. We already got Sodoric and Andaria, and then we got Neville and Andrea. So we got it's one more couple, and I forgot their names. I mentioned it in my last review. No, not my last review. In a previous review, and I put a link of that digital exclusive of the three couples, and I forgot the last one. But they was here and they was cool. Tisha gave them a bag because she gave all the couples a sex bag so they could be good, so they could use that, and that's great. All right, so I'm gonna start with the Kimmy and Maurice thing. All right, so y'all be following my reviews. So whoever has been following my reviews, appreciate everyone who has been looking at my reviews, commenting, liking the videos. I really appreciate it. So if y'all has been following, y'all know the thing between Kimmy, Maurice, and Letitia. No, not Letitia. Kimmy, Maurice, and his ex-wife, Kyra. And I finally got her name right. I couldn't forget her name. Remember her name, but I was calling her Kyra. All right. So I want y'all to remember is that I know people say in the comments, I would never say my son anything. I don't care who it is. So I say, remember, Kyra and Maurice had an agreement. They officially agreed that when Monster, their son, well, it's Maurice Jr., but they call him Monster. When Monster comes and he goes to teenage year and he goes back to middle school, they agreed that he will take the boy through his middle school age and she will have him in the summertime. It's the flip side. While before that, she had the son and he take him in the summertime. While he's in middle school and in the teenage years, that's the age when they start transitioning as a young man and stuff like that. He was supposed to take the boy in summertime. She was on board with that. But I guess recently, since he got married to Kimmy, and I believe he moved out of Michigan and moved to Huntsville, Alabama, she changed her mind. Now, I don't know if she changed her mind because of Kimmy. She did mention that she has a problem with Kimmy. So, I don't know if that's the reason. Maybe because when she did mention last season, when he did mention, or when Martha mentioned to his mother that Maurice, his father, is marrying Kimmy, she had a nasty face. She was like, oh really? So, it's like, okay. And then like I said, I couldn't remember if she did say it or not, but people were saying in the comments and stuff that she mentioned that because Kimmy expressed that she don't want to be a full-time mother to his monster, then she has a problem with that. I don't think I heard her saying that, but that's the issue that we need to figure it out. Because Kimmy did express that she don't want to be a full-time mother to Monster when you have the father who wants your child. He wants full custody. No, Maurice wants the custody of his son right now. He wants his son to live with him. That's his goal. He wants his son with him. So if you want your son with you and you know you're going to law school, you're going to this, there, you got to take the test, you got to take the exam, you're going to be away from home and much, who will be the one taking care of the kid when you have the full time? It's Kimmy. And Kimmy raised her son already. She raised her son by herself. The son is in college. So she want to live her life. She want to be grown. She want to live. And I don't blame her. Like any woman out there who raised their own kids, when you end up getting married to a guy who have a younger child, yes, you gonna be there for the child or you gonna be there for your husband, but you don't want to take the full responsibility of raising that kid when he is the parent. He is the parent of that child, so he needs to be full face, step forward and be there in his parent-child life, full force, and not putting on his wife to take care of all the responsibilities when you know you're going to not be home as much. So that's the issue right there. So in my opinion. Now, whatever reason that she reneged on that agreement, the ex-wife Kyra, we will find out. Next week, finally Maurice, Kimmy, and Kyra will sit down. And we will finally get to hear out of Kyra's mind what is the reason why she don't want Monster coming down. So like that. So Now, it started when it ended last week. Kimmy was crying because after Maurice basically was telling her that he made an offer to his ex-wife and her husband. Mind you, his ex-wife is remarried. So they both remarried. So explain to me how you made an offer to your ex-wife to have them move down to Alabama, pay for their mortgage without having to pay anything, so you can have your son full time. Now, what husband like me, I would not be counting with that. I would not be here uproot our life in Michigan to come all the way to Alabama to stay in a house for another man's house who paid for everything. I would feel less than a man. I said no. I would pay. No, like it's our family. It's my family with my wife. It was a child. Now, the issue was this: is that Maurice brought this offer to Kyra, and she accepted that offer and not even talk to her husband. I would wish she would say, "I need to talk about it." She agreed to come down and check it out. And also, I guess she maybe agreed to come down and move. So she said, okay. She didn't say, let me talk to my husband, like that. If I was her husband, I would say, what we doing? We not moving to Alabama. You going to talk to me about this first? It's like, I would feel the same way. Do y'all would feel the same way? I would, because I would say, hold up, no. So, that's that. And then he didn't talk to Kimmy. That's his mistake. He should have talked to Kimmy because he didn't take consideration of Kimmy's feelings and how would she feel about the situation. That he said you have no other choice. This is the only choice. You have choices. The first choice was to have them sit down first. To have a sit down with all parties who going to be involved with the monster alive, and y'all have an agreement. Now that after that, if it doesn't work out, then you take different measures. But the fact that you didn't try any other measures, you said this is the only thing because you want your son with you, Which I understand, you're active in your son's life. Nobody denying it. Everybody in the cast say that you are active in your son's life. But how you go about doing this and having your son with you right now, it's crazy. It would not work out. So he was getting upset. He was like, wow, I'm telling my friends this and they go in my face and they're telling this and giving no solutions. I said, what solution you have? Like Sadarik said, I was off all my financial means to make sure I have my child. So basically he's saying go to the courts or something like that. He said he didn't want to do that, stuff, and he said, why not go to Michigan? Why not move to Michigan if you want to be close to your son? He said, I will do that if that's the last resort. If I had the last resort, I will go to Michigan. He said, why you just don't have a place in Michigan? So you have a place in Alabama, you have a place in Michigan. If you go to Michigan for some couple of months, whatever, you can stay with your son like that and come back and forth. He don't want to keep doing back and forth, traveling. He wants his son with him full time. Now, if they stick to the agreement, he would have had the son. But now the agreement is not sticking with. So it's like it's a battle between his ex-wife and him with the custody of the son. And I know it's a tricky situation. Like, I don't know, but I would say, Maurice, you need to sit down and have everybody talk and have to do this, because that's the only solution. You need to sit down and talk before you make decisions. Because what you did, like, you made this offer to Kyra, but now you talk to Kimmy first, and now you make her feel like her opinions is not validated in this regards into the situation, because she's part of the equation. So Maurice realized he messed up. He messed up, and he trying to make Kimmy happy, so like that. And he said, what's the difference? I don't want to be choosing between my kid and my wife. I just like I'm a catch-22 because I got to make my son happy and make this happy. Nobody's saying you cannot. Yes, you got to make your wife happy. But you got to include her. She's not keeping you away from your child. She's not going to do that. Now, Kimmy talked to Melody and tell Melody everything. And Melody was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you going through this. So Melody started tearing up. She said, don't do that. Because it's hard for Kimmy. It's like, and now if she said no or she said this on anything, now it make it feel like she's the bad guy in the situation. Or her decision is this and she's not letting me see my child. So like that. She don't want to do that. So she put in a rock in a hard place because she said if she does get really pushback, it will enhance the negativity in that situation, and then the Kyra will start withholding Monster more, and then he will start pushing for it more. So it's like a ripple effect, and everybody is going, is not being resolved. So she don't want to go too much and go into deep, and that's why she's trying to hold her tongue and realize and not say anything because she don't want to make it worse before him and his son. So I understand Kimmy, and I understand her going through a lot of this. And I with her shoes, I'll feel the same way. I will feel like, wow. It's like, yes, he's a good guy, but sometimes he needs to listen and he needs to consider me in the decision making. You just can't make things like you a single person. You married now. You are a married man. All right. So hopefully this works itself out, and Maurice is going to extremes to make sure he gets his son, and I just want to know what's the deal. So next week, y'all stay tuned for next week, because I will really be on it. I will really be on that scene, especially when they have that sit down and really listen to what her reasons are and what's going on, what solution can they make, what was the problem, what's the issue between Kyra and Kimmy. Because like that, if she remarried and he's married, why he's so bitter? Because maybe say, oh, people always want to make her she's a bitter black woman. I don't want to go to that for that she's bitter. But I do want to say something is not right between the situation. What's going on? Because you had the agreement and then you just took the agreement away and you just reneged on it. So what happened? Why you feel this way? It's because he got with Kimmy. Is your issues with Kimmy? We need to know. So next week we're gonna find out. All right. So yeah. All right. So let's go with this Melanie and Martell thing before we go to that Tina stuff. Melanie Martell. Melanie feel like she's cramping. Her stomach is cramping a lot. She said she's a couple of days she had these cravings. Her stomach is cramping, and she's been through this, so she knows she might be pregnant because she got 3 other kids, and when it happened around that time, she knew it was happening. It was proved that she was pregnant. So now she realized she thinks. So they was out. I guess they were having breakfast and they was talking. That's when the new couple came. And Melanie stomach was cramping, so she said, I need to go sit down. I need to lay down. I need to lay down. So Martell, you okay? He said, yeah, I need to go upstairs. So he lay down. Martell came and checked up on her. And she got up in the bed. And she looked nice with no makeup on. I said, Melanie, you look really pretty with no makeup on. It's like that. And Melanie is a pretty woman. But she looked really nice with no makeup on. And she got up and then she said, I think I may be pregnant. And he said, what? How you know you're pregnant? She said, well, I know because I had 3 other kids and I know when I'm my body and stuff like that. So we got to go to the doctor. So they agreed to not to say anything about the pregnancy or not to tell anyone or two. They both agreed it was time to say anything. Now, this is my thought about the situation. You is going through this lot of things with your husband, Martell, with the cheating thing. It was a whole turmoil, up and down. We felt like he had a whole relationship with this woman. All that stuff is going up there. You think about going to find a divorce. So you go through all these emotions. And now the baby is in this situation. And not saying that's your husband. You want to get pregnant by your husband, that's your husband. But I would not want to bring a baby in this situation when your marriage is not solidified right now. It's not on the same wavelength. So it's like, okay, he's going through this. You think about stepping out. You think about being divorced, it's like that. And now you have this baby. It's not going to freaking solve the problem if you never solved the problem before. So Martell thinking like, oh, this baby gonna bring us close together. Alright, this guy's, how old is he? 40-something years old, and said that freaking dumbass line that young teenagers, some young people will say, babies do not bring situation better. It doesn't make the situation better. If you don't fix your situation before the baby get here, or it will solve the situation, that it will enhance and amplify the messiness of the relationship. So, no, babies doesn't make it better. You may be happy to have a baby, but it doesn't make your situation you're going through now. So all this up and down, y'all not sleeping in the same bed. He's sleeping upstairs, you sleeping downstairs, and stuff like that. So having a baby right now, Melanie, is not good. And then we all knew she's pregnant because in social media she is already posted that she had her belly bump. So it's like before the season even started, people knew that she was pregnant. So now people was like, this storyline is freaking whack, because like you're going through all this where we know at the end of the day you might not go leave the guy. And now I'm realizing that she's probably not going to leave. And now she got to think about the baby now and what's the best interest. And I said, oh no. I said, what are we going through all this if you're not going to leave the guy? Now you're pregnant, so what is it? So now he going to use his ass to try to get you to stay, to know that baby's here, you can't leave now, going to be crazy. And that, you know, that mind game men play when they go through things and then baby coming along, they were trying to will you win to make sure you don't leave? And I said, oh no, that was that. Now, the last thing, Tisha and Melody and all that stuff. Because, alright, this is my situation with this. Tisha, you act like you are in denial, girl. You very in denial. Now, the fact that your husband have never dispelled that rumor, had never denied the rumor, had never said anything towards the rumor, he made it very quickly with Martell because he know that if he keep pushing Martell and push his buttons, then Martell will air his dirty laundry out and will give receipts, whatever is needed to be. But Marceau is not saying much because he don't want Martell and anybody to give much information. That's why he trying to be the hush hush. Letitia is on the other hand, she's all rowdy up because Marceau is not defending himself. He's not saying anything about this woman. You so very in your mind adamant that your husband would never cheat on you. Your husband never cheated on this. I never experienced any cheating in my life. I never seen any cheating. I never experienced this. I never disliked like that. So Melody would make it seem like, listen, you coming at me making it seem like you are exempt for even happening to you, which is not true. Anybody could have been cheated on. No matter how good you are as a wife, you could be cheated on. You can do everything right and still get cheated on. So it's like, don't think like because you haven't seen him being cheating on you doesn't mean it haven't not been happening. And the fact that he's not saying anything to make it right, to make it feel like you, to ease your mind as a wife, that it makes it more hurtful. It makes it more tiring when you need to keep defending yourself and you keep bringing it up. So it's bothering you. It's like you know something and you're denying about that because you know that your husband has cheated on you and you know that he did. And you try to deny that fact that he's doing it. So you try and make it seem like, oh, he never did this. He never do this even though he had done it. Or you so blinded the fact that you would think he would never do that to you. And that's the issue. She thinking that he would never do that to her. So she said, no, I've never seen this. I never experienced cheating. I never experienced in my life. I never seen the cheating. I was like, okay. Whether you lie to me, girl, or we going to choose to believe you. Well, how many of y'all believe Tisha? Because the fact that she's saying that she never seen any cheating and stuff like that, I don't believe her. Somebody said, you sitting in my face lying to me and you want me to be truthful to you? She said, oh, how am I lying about you? So they had to sit down talking outside. And Tisha does keep bringing this cheating up, and she does poke. So she was like, I don't want to get to the point where we throwing jabs at each other. We talking about each other. We not being there for each other. We need to have a friendship. We had a genuine good friendship. I don't know what happened. What happened because as Melody was going through this, you was being judgmental and you was reveling the fact that she was going through some turmoil times. All last season after all this coming out, you keep bringing her cheating down. You keep bringing her infidelity up. You make it poke. Y'all was funny, making jokes about it. Y'all was being funny with it. So y'all like kind of happy that it was going through things. And now it's coming back on y'all and now it's not good. So Melody brought it up to Tisha. It's like, listen, you had got a nice way to bring negative vibes in the situation because she gave example when at the table when the men would talk about some things and you was like this. She was doing that. And Tisha said Melody is nice nasty. Well, she could be true and it could be nice nasty. Somebody said, it's a nice way you telling me that I'm nice nasty. She said yes. And she said, well, you have a way to give negative vibes. So Tisha acted like she don't know what she was talking about. She said, what? She said, it's happy. You should have point that out to me. Why should you point that out to you? You've been doing that. Nobody needs to point that thing out to you for something you know you have been doing. No, it's no need for her to point it out for you to be aware of what you're doing. You know what you're doing when somebody talk about a situation and it's towards the other friends and you making faces and you like, Okay, I said, girl, you know what the hell you're doing, girl, Tisha. Don't act like you don't know. So it was like, then she brought up, she's about, because Melody tell her, it's like, listen, when we had that last sit down, I never brought up any cheating. You the one who brought it up. It was true. Tisha did the one who brought it up. She brought the cheating up again. Like every situation you want to have, you so bothered by that. You trying to make Melody, you trying to convince Melody that Marceau is innocent. Well, you can't convince Melody and you're not convincing us. Marcel the one had to convince you that it did not happen. Maybe not happen to 20 girlfriends, but he may have done something. So the fact that you so adamant that he's not doing anything, and you so bothered that Martell is not apologizing. He's not apologizing for saying. He's saying he apologized for being aggressive, but he's not apologizing for what he said because it's the truth. Now Melanie said, I don't know if Martell will apologize about that because they've been friends for a long time and they know each other for a while and they know each other. She's like, well, my husband will never cheat on me. I'm not gonna make it clear about that. I was like, okay, so what are you blowing up for? What was that? That sounded like a guilty conscience to me. Like, what was you blowing up Melody for? Melody is sitting here pregnant. We don't even know that. She don't want to go through all this stress right now. And then you up here trying to blow up and make it convinces us that your husband never cheated. So they had a little dinner. And they was talking and talking. And Melody was sitting there because Letitia was going on about her being 13 years married. She's like, oh, we have a good marriage. We are great. We love each other. It's like that. It's like when you lay in the bed and you lay in the chest and he hugging you and you doing this and that and this and that and yeah and yeah and yeah and yeah and yeah and yeah. She was going on and on. And Melody was like, oh my God. So everybody was sitting there and listening. And Melody was saying, oh, do you think a man could be faithful to one woman? And this possibility, oh, I said, can he be faithful to one woman? He said, it's tough for a lot of people, but it could be possible. And it was, so she brought up how people feel like they exempt for this happening. And exactly, there are people like that. They would say, oh, this will never happen to me, this will never happen to me. And then it happened to you now. You act like it never, you were not supposed to be the one who it happened to. I said, girl, no, stop it. Stop it. So karma is a bitch, and it will come after you. So you better stop acting like it never going to happen to you. And it exactly does. So that was the episode, y'all. That was the episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me what y'all think about this situation. Tell me what y'all think about Kimmy and Maurice's situation. Tell me what you think about Letitia and Dane. Or you think Letitia is denial? Do you think Marcel is innocent? Do you think Marcel was lying? What is it? How do you feel about Melody being pregnant right now? So tell me what y'all feel, and I'll talk to y'all later. All right, peace.